Shasta. I hope the date March 12th rings a bell for you because I have to tell you, it certainly does for me. On that day, I'm your keynote speaker at your Power 2020 conference in San Diego at the Westin Hotel. I've known Dave Chick a while, and he's told me all about your past conferences, incredible speakers, amazing topics, and I can't tell you how excited I am to build on all of that. So see you soon in San Diego, March 12th. Mark it on your calendar. Don't forget. Bye-bye.
All right, guys. Well, thank you very much, Connie. What gets me excited, Mike, when I hear people talk about the true psychology. You know, it's funny. We talked about psychology of sale from day one,
right?
And I think that if you've read and about Connie and heard her speak, I mean, she had me at no PowerPoint.
Yeah.
I'm just, I was like getting nervous when somebody's like, "We're going to train you on sales," and it's like, "Does the PowerPoint work?" Does the what? How is that going to train me on sales? And that, I'm not trying to be rude, but geez, I mean, now if you're, product, I get all that, but training me on the psychology of people, that's not done on a PowerPoint, And so I'm really excited about what she's going to bring to the table. I think we got to, Dave Anderson's always great, and I think he always gets us thinking about how we can get better, and Connie's going to do the same thing. And JR, we have such a great lineup of people.
Right.
Just, man, we're really excited. So
Tom
thank
Hegna.
you. Tom Hegna's. That's the thing, like Tom Hegna, I've listened to a lot of annuity training, and I have. And I've never heard from, like I want to say, from a speaker carrier standpoint, not from our agents, right? Or not when Shawn does Advanced Market Lives and all these other guys and girls we got that are great at it. But from a carrier standpoint or a guest speaker or a keynote, and Tom Hegna, I listened to every word he said.
Yeah.
Because I was like, I think he's talking about annuities. Oh, he is talking about annuities, but I'm excited. Like I was really love the way he spoke about it. So looking very much forward to him talking again. So that being said, so thank you to everybody. We obviously have some amazing people on today. We got who do we got in what order here?
We have Grady
Wilson.
Yeah.
Grady.
Trey Honeycutt.
Yeah.
And we close with Nick Ayala.
That's a power pack lineup.
Yeah.
And we are coming off of our 6th year, our 6th anniversary. I remember we launched the company, and we'd hit our first year. Oh, no, we launched the company, didn't have an event. So the following year we had an event. We said it's our inaugural event. And then we like we had people like remember that guy was emailing us going,
we called it annual.
We
convention.
called it an annual convention. And he was like, "No, it's your inaugural convention." I'm
right.
like, "Dude, it's our convention.
Right.
How in the world can you tell us what to call it?" And I'm really like I was angry,
yep.
right? Because man, I had a lot of growing to do. And I was like, "What are you talking about? It's our annual convention." "No, it's your inaugural convention." I'm like, "You know what? It's our inaugural annual convention. Who cares?" And I'm like, God, people got to have more important things to worry about than that, And I think my exact words were, "Good luck getting him to sell anything," because he's so focused on what we call stuff. And I was right.
Yes.
Okay. But anyway, that being said, Founders Day was very, I think, eye-opening for me, Mike. The way I characterized it to people was when we started, we were hungry to survive. We just were. I think when I looked in people's eyes, the people we were working with, there was probably some appropriate, fear of where do we go next and how do we get there, but people were starving. And they were selling because they wanted to protect families and provide for their own. Year 1, 2, 3, 4, and I think somewhere in there, somebody said to me, do you have a hard time not becoming complacent? And I go, well, how complacency sets in when you've achieved your goal, right? Like whatever that goal is for you, you've achieved. Now, if complacency sets in and you haven't achieved a goal, that's actually laziness. Yeah. Like he's complacent. Like he's not complacent, he's lazy. By the way, I've been lazy. We've all been lazy at times, but call it what it is. If you're just not working, yet you've not hit a goal, don't blame it on complacency. You're scapegoating something that doesn't exist. You just don't feel like working. We've all been there. Right. All of us. And so I think for me, it's like our goal, Mike, from a decade back was to help as many families as possible, right?
Yep.
Simple. Help. Whoever helps the most families wins. And at the end of the day, you can't really enter into a complacency phase with that purely because there's just so many people to help. Like we can continue to grow tenfold And in 10 years from now, we're not going to go like, whew, man, we're done. Like every family in America has been protected and we're good to go. Everybody's got life insurance and what a run. Because while we're working really hard to protect the other people, it's easy to follow. There's people being born, there's people aging out, there's people hitting 17, 18 years of age, 19 they're eligible, people hitting their retirement age, people becoming 60 years of age. So for us, we might make mistakes. It won't be out of complacency because we know we're trying to serve as many people as we can. So I think, really looking at everybody's numbers, looking at the growth of the company, we're going to finish. We've been talking about finishing right around $220 million. If you take our projections and we don't grow at like we do everything, if we do what we've been doing per week, we're going to finish at 215, I believe, in issue paid volume, 215 million paid life and annuity. And our goal in 2020 is 400 million. Our goal is to issue $200 million in life business and to issue $200 million in annuity business. Is that bigger than everybody? It's bigger than everybody.
Yeah.
It's bigger than anybody. It's bigger than everybody. Bigger than every IMO. Actually, if you took all the other IMOs and added them up, we'd be bigger than them. Actually, if you took them all, added them up, and multiplied it, we'd be bigger than them. I'm just being, if you ask me, I'm being about the numbers. It's true. Why? We have awesome people. We have awesome, we have a phenomenal lead system. We have awesome training. We're very presumptive in what we do. But at the end of the day, I think the most important thing is really we have amazing people. You people are amazing, and we have awesome people working with us, and we continue to serve them and let them be independent contractors and challenge them in a way that we can in any way they want to be and provide the best training we can on a daily basis. So coming out of that event, hearing what some of the people are doing, somebody asked me, what separates these four people? We talked a lot about size of the groups and what they're doing, and they said, well, Mike's got this group, and then John over here, and Mark and Andrew. Are they the four? I said, yeah, they're the four biggest groups we got. Fair enough. We have some amazing groups, but yes. And somebody said, give me a common denominator. And that's fair. And I said, well, they've had more risk. They've had more chargebacks. They've had more debt. Like, they run big businesses. Right. If you run Shawn's Country Store and then you run Walmart in Norwich, Connecticut, I know it's hard to believe, more stuff stolen from Walmart in Norwich, Connecticut than Shawn's Country Store. Shawn's Country Store actually could have zero theft because I have 12 items, and I'm there 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Nobody stole anything. Yeah, nobody bought anything either. My loss prevention's money. It's like, I know, but so my point is they've hired a lot of people. They've spent a lot. They've also invested the most in their business, but they're the most profitable, not just the biggest. They're the most profitable. We have plenty of other examples, but my point is you have to, we have so many cute cliches, right? Like, scared money don't make money. And I don't really know what that means. I don't know how money's scared. It wouldn't be the scared person make no money, but scared money don't make money. It's like, okay, I don't know what that means. Just like, you can sell ice to an Eskimo. I don't know what that means either. We have a phenomenal thing coming out on a great cable network channel that you're going to see on the 13th of January.
Right.
We'll get all the information out to you, 7:30 a.m. Eastern time, right?
Yep.
So we're really excited about that. There's no reason we can't announce the name of the show. So The Balancing Act on Lifetime. And, the host is, and it's kind of, because I even say that, I'm like, I don't know what you guys are so good, and this person can do this, and you can sell ice to Eskimo. I'm like, I appreciate it, but I don't know what that means, and I still don't. We just sell insurance to people, you know what I mean? And we'll sell insurance to Eskimos. We'll sell insurance to anybody that wants it, but I don't know about selling ice to anybody. I don't, and I'm being playful, but I think that's the stuff that we've gotten past. I think historically, people had convinced themselves that there was some subculture in the world of good salesmen and women, good salespeople. And I always challenge that. Like, I think selling somebody something they don't need, I wouldn't brag about it, but there probably are people. There's probably a subculture of people that sell things to people and close them that they don't need. I never wanted to be in that. I'm not arguing that it's their business. I'm not discerning that it's right. I'm just telling you I didn't want to do that. If you said, sell this wax to people for their car, and I go, well, why? Because it makes you money. Is it any better than anything else? No, not really, but sell it. And I'm like, but they can go to the car wash and get it done, or they can buy the wax cheaper at Walmart. Like, why do I have to sell them this wax? Is it special? No, but it looks like and I still don't know that I would say you'd be a good salesman. I'd say you kind of BS them to get something they don't need. I don't know that and I'm not trying to eradicate, hundreds of years of people that said that they're good salesmen. I just kind of go, in today's world, people can buy their products about anywhere they want. they have access to the internet. They can get anything they want whenever they want. They don't really need you to do it, you know? And it's like I wanted a pillow the other day. Like, dude, just a pillow. I don't like a pillow, like, because I needed it,
Yep.
you know? And, like, the guy's, like, trying to help me at the store. And he's, like, hops up, the three of them, and they just got off of their, you know, smoking break because the whole place smelled like smoke. And,
Nice.
and I was like, I just want a pillow, dude. He's like, well, have you seen this one? I'm like, I just want the one that you put on the bed and you put your head down and pillow. I just want a pillow. I didn't think it would be this much. I'm like, is there a Walmart around? I'll go to Walmart because they'll let me grab my own pillow and they won't make me. I don't even care how much it is now. I just want the pillow. But I'm gonna leave soon if you don't stop trying to sell me more. I just want a pillow, you know. And I think what I'm trying to get at is this truly is for anybody. When you look at those bigger businesses, you can realize that they invest more. I think a lot of people that are winning care. I'm not saying they care more than Tom or Tim cares more than Tom or Tina. I'm not comparing and contrasting. I'm just saying the individuals I see, I think the producers that are doing well care more. I think they care more. They work hard. There's a myriad of things they're doing, but I think deep down inside, they really want people to have life insurance. I think they just have this burning desire to help the people. I just don't think that you can get to let's take Hall of Fame. I don't think you get to Hall of Fame and not care about people. I don't think it's possible. I really don't. Maybe make a sale here and there, but I think that that's something where when you're sitting with them, and I think those producers have found a way to not let their ups and downs frustrate them because they understand it's just people being people, you know? So we're really excited as we finish this year out and looking at where people are at and where they're finishing and how hard they're working. And it sounds like a broken record, but it's true. We keep breaking records every single week. You know, I'll get a call from America. I'm like, do you know how many apps y'all did this week? No. 2,000. And it's like, God, I can remember we were trying to do 100.
Right.
Like as a company. Because, by the way, if you have an agency, 100 apps is a great place to start. 100 apps a week. And it's a good-sized number. And now it's like we're doing thousands and thousands. But then again, there were companies in the 80s doing 35, 40,000 a week with no leads. So have we made a dent? No, but we can. And I really, when you listen to these guys train today, we keep saying this to people, you know, people are like, man, so-and-so is good and so-and-so good. You can send any videos you want. We want them. Meaike Sizer, you want them, right? I'm not speaking. Meaike Sizer wants you to email him, Meaike.Sizer@fanfirstlife.com. He wants the videos. Now, if you're selling, you're hiring, you're doing stuff that's productive, he wants them. He'll look at them, he reviews them, make sure they're okay, and, you know, as long as they don't do anything that's going to be a problem for us or for any other entity, like life's good, and he'll put them on the next level live.
Right.
You know, but we're growing so fast. We've added a receptionist. We also added somebody to help in the lead department.
Yeah.
So we added Nicole, who's going to be a full-time receptionist because the phone's ringing off the hook, and staff's kind of getting driven crazy by every extension being called, you know. And then Joanny is going to help Sasha.
Yep.
With leads. Funny, I'm like, hey, do you guys, I want to introduce you. And Sasha's like, oh, we went to high school together. Like, isn't that something, right? Like, she's like, yeah, I know her from high school. We were in the same class. Yeah, that's great. And so we're hiring another contracting person. We haven't hired that person yet. We're adding. We are going to keep out in front of all this. Thank you again for all the adjustment with the CRM. We're very excited about what it's offering, the heat map, and what we're doing on the website, new events page. We're going to be doing the website for all the business development meetings. Look out for those. Dallas, December 18th.
Yep.
You know, we're scheduling a few more. We talked about adding Phoenix. And, I mean, Andrew Taylor, I think, was he just in, like, Hawaii?
Yeah.
The business development meeting, like,
right now.
yeah, who knows? He's there. He was there. I don't know. He's doing it. Who knows? But it's like, my God, like these people are just all over the place helping out families and presenting this opportunity to people because there's so many people out there that just don't know how straightforward it is to actually get an insurance license and how well we can prepare them to go be successful. So I promise you're going to learn a lot from Trey and Grady and Nick. They obviously all know how to build this business, know how to sell. You know, I early in this year didn't realize how much some were actually selling. You know, I was on a call talking about, man, Grady, you need, and Andrew's like, dude, he sells 20, 30 grand plus a month every month. You should pay. Boom, 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 builds a team. So it's the way it works. I know you get a lot out of it. Have an outstanding weekend, great week. But please pay attention because they're doing really well. I listen to them talk at the Founders Day meeting. They were unbelievable. I hope to see all of you at the Founders Day meeting next year. And I know we're growing like crazy and want everybody to achieve what they want to achieve. Meaike, I'm thinking we're going to have dozens of board members in 2020, and there's no reason we can't. So I'm going to turn it over to my friends here and let them take it and run with it and train you. But I appreciate it, Connie. Thank you for leading us off. Meaike, thank you for everything you always do. And here you go, guys.
All right, thanks, Shawn. Grady here in the studio. How we doing, Grady?
Doing well, man. Good
Awesome, man. Sorry. Yeah, everyone loves that. You can smile. So, Grady, you're here, corporate office. Thanks for coming up. And we're just coming off of Founders Day.
Yep.
So, Family First Life, been in business 6 years. This is your first Founders Day, right?
Correct. Yep.
So, I'm curious. I mean, you're one of the majority of the room, is agents or managers that have been here since day one. You were one of the few kind of new blood in the room. So what did you get out of the meeting? First of all, what did you expect coming into it versus what you got out of it?
What did I expect? I'd expected just, let me back up for a second. So I'm just so appreciative to even be at Founders Day, to be in a room with all these guys whom paid the price, right? They took machetes and went into the jungle and hacked down a path, and now we get to walk behind them. And I'm so fortunate that they've done all that, which has allowed guys like me to be able to come in this company and be able to have a great opportunity. So as far as expectations, I was just, coming to be around these great people who work real hard, sacrifice time with their families to build a business. And what I got out of it was just a further, deeper, if you will, face tattoo belief that this is the best opportunity for someone who wants to work hard. They can make now money, and they can help people make long-term money by building a team and supporting other agents who want to get involved in our industry.
Yeah, absolutely. Makes sense. And how long have you been with us now, Grady?
January 3rd of 18 was my first day.
Okay. Wow.
So just less than 2 years.
Less than 2 years, and you're at Founders Day. Not bad. And you're building a team. What are you guys at right now a month?
Last month we did 440,000.
Not bad at all for 2 years, and you're still selling.
Yep. Love
it's
it.
Funny, Shawn had talked about that call he was on with you, and he's like, he didn't know the numbers, and he's like, Grady needs to sell, and Andrew's like, well, this is how much he sells. Like, so what are you going to finish the year? I mean,
between 330 and 350.
Okay. And I mean, that being said, one of the things we've always prided ourselves on is we don't have people get on these sales training podcasts or train at any event. You've been to a bunch of them that aren't having success in what they're training on. It's real people, real numbers. That was our first, kind of motto or statement was real people, real numbers, real results. That being said, I mean, what can you take, 5-10 minutes and give these guys some advice on how to finish this year strong? I mean, we're almost there. We're a few weeks away.
Sure.
But the thing about it is how you finish this year will dictate how you start 2020. So if you can kind of get into that, I know we got a big conference coming up, and just give these guys your perspective on, because you're doing it, So
awesome. Thank you so much, Meaike. Well, in my opinion, FFL gives you such a platform to do whatever you want to do, whether it is sell lots of life insurance, which I love selling life insurance. It's one of the greatest things that I can connect with a family across the table and put something in place that's going to benefit their family when they die. And that's a very powerful thing. And so the FFL situation is we've got whole life and term, IULs, annuities. We have all these different products to protect people, which is a huge value of what we have here. But in the same standpoint, you can then go recruit people or hire or involve them. I mean, I was very careful with the word, right? I'm introducing people to FFL. I love it.
Right.
I think if you want to work hard, you'll love it too. And so in that capacity, it really, this company just gives you such a good thing. I mean, and even further looking at our numbers to see, I mean, and I don't know if you have that slide, but the slide showing that we hit 5 million in life last October.
Right.
And then 6, 7, 8, 9 last November, to watch the hockey stick movement of just life volume. I mean, goosebumps right now.
Yeah.
And so it's just, this is the best thing that exists. And so, to kind of just dig down into your question, how to close the year out strong. I mean, it involves, let me say, why would you want to close the year out strong? You'd want to close the year out strong so that you put yourself in the best position to crush it in 2020.
Right.
That's why you want to close it out strong. And I can't tell you how many times like I've like taken a long weekend, and not that you shouldn't enjoy time with family. And if you work hard, you hit your goals, of course. I mean, it is the importance of spending time with what's the reason we're doing this, to give ourselves time, freedom, family security, income. But anytime that I've taken an extended period of time off, it's like leaving the gym for 2, 3, 4 weeks, right?
Right.
Coming back into it, you're so sore.
Yep.
And so it's not to say that you shouldn't enjoy time with family, but it's just to say, like, don't take 2 weeks off, right? And not that if you deserve it, like, if you've written hundreds of thousands of dollars and your team's cranking and you're going to not post it on social media that you're not working, that's a big thing. Like, I don't post when I'm doing stuff that's not work related. Why? Because Shawn made a great line. He says, no one ever works hard seeing someone on the beach.
Right.
And that really affects me. And like, I just, does people deserve to have a good time? Of course. But to close the year out strong, it's focusing on what you do want to accomplish in 2020, to see the trajectory of this company, to see that the lead availability, to hear about the 500,000 new leads that are coming. Have they been dumped in the CRM, or they're coming?
Next week, I believe.
500,000 aged, more, that's 500.
Always be closing.
That's incredible to just, and that's what excites me, is just to see the constant thought process of moving us forward. What can we do? What can we enable the agents with? What can we empower people? And so it's preparing yourself for that, right? It's making sure you got your lead orders in today, right? To be dialing for Monday. It's making sure that you have door knock routes set up. I mean, I've never seen more people winning off door knocking. Have you? I mean,
No.
It's unreal. Like,
Right.
who would have had the idea to go do it? And now it's like a common practice.
Yeah.
There's a guy on Andrew's team, Suhail, who I don't think he even dials. He just door knocks, and he writes like 20,000 a month.
By the way, how was the competition in Vegas?
Oh, it was awesome. It was awesome. 9 people got up there, and it was excellent. It was a great way to see people getting out of their comfort zone, but showing the whole mass, the whole crowd, that it's okay to get out of your comfort zone, right?
Right.
It is at early onset, it is a little odd to kind of walk up to someone's door and knock on it. But when you have what we have, which is requests for coverage, right? Because they filled out leads.
Right.
We're not doing something inappropriate. We're not just walking down the street, knocking on random people's doors and asking if they want to buy life insurance. It's, hey, Dolores, you filled this out yesterday. I tried calling you. Or you filled this out 2 days ago. I tried calling you a bunch of times yesterday. Do you not answer numbers that you don't recognize? Oh, no, Grady, I don't answer numbers I don't recognize. Okay,
Right.
perfect. Well, I just got to get this to you. Our girl, Ashlyn, she always says, is it okay if I come in now or in 20 minutes? Right? That's the options. It's now or in 20 minutes. And so that was a great, great event. But to get yourself geared up towards this end of this year is getting your lead availability, but starting to, everyone, wants to create a New Year's resolution. And I'm not really big on New Year's resolutions personally. And the reason is because you're setting yourself up to create guilt, right? I'm not gonna eat carbs, right? Or I'm gonna cut out all sugar, or whatever that thing is for a New Year's resolution. Why not just make a today resolution? Why not just do something today that you make movements towards it, and starting to make proper adjustments. Like for me, like I used to wake up much later than I did. And from talking to Andrew and talking to Shawn continuously, they kind of beat on me that successful people wake up early, right? And what's the reason for it? You get a jump on the day. You got more time in the office, or you got more time to kind of get through all those emails that you need to get through. Or what I personally do is I wake up and I go to the gym, which I love because it's quiet time. There's less people there. I come home, my cortisol, my stress level is really low. I can manage the chaos of my children, get them off to school, and then start my day of work. And I got that checkbox, that win, right? They talk about in the military that they teach people when they enter the military that the first thing they teach them to do is to make their bed, right? So you start the day with a win. And so for me, every time I wake up and it's dark and cold out, and I drive my car in with a hoodie on and the heat and in the seat heaters on, and I pull up in the gym and the parking lot's barely empty, I'm winning, right? And so for some of you, maybe these are some of these habits that you're like, I'm going to start that in the new year, right? Why not start them today? And that way by January 1, January 2nd, you're rolling. And so those would be some of the things that I would say is just don't cheat yourself from the advancement of your goals by putting it on some nonsensical date, right? January 1st means nothing. It's just I don't know what day it is. It's a day of the week. It doesn't mean anything. Like we always say, independent contractors, right? You're a business owner. Choose today is the days you start something big. Today's the day you start doubling down on your leads. Today's the days you get ahead and jump on your Hall of Fame run for next year. So those are some of the things that I would say.
It perfect sense, man. And what's funny is you bring up New Year's resolution, and how many people actually stick? Like, I don't know the stats, but if you look them up, I bet it's probably like 1%. You know,
it's got to be.
I mean, we see it. I go to the gym locally, and the worst week of the year is the week after January 1st.
Oh yeah.
And typically, what I've done the past couple of years is that's the week I take a break from the gym, because I don't want to deal with the 30 new people, because I would go to a small gym.
Yeah.
But 30 new people in this gym that are gung ho ready to work out, and then after a week, 25 of them are gone. So I'm like, I'll take a break this week, and get back in here when they're all gone. Because it's to your point. Why do you have to wait to January 1st to go to the gym if you're out of shape and you want to just go now?
Yeah.
What's the significance of that day? A couple other things. I know we got a big event in Dallas coming up.
Yep.
Talk a little bit about that, Grady.
Yeah. So next Wednesday, myself, I'm gonna screw up some names, but I know Mark Mead will be there. John Wetmore will be there. Our CEO, Shawn Meaike will be there. Myself, Galen, and like 20. I mean, and I love everybody who's gonna be there, but a ton of other top agency managers and top producers doing a one last blast. So if you live within 5 hours, 10 hours of driving, a quick, $200 plane flight, and you're not where you want to be, even if you are where you want to be, getting that burst of camaraderie, community, but also that high level training from the people that are making it happen can't do anything but benefit you as you progress down, towards the end of this year and set yourself up for the next year. And I know there was a big event in Atlanta, big event in Vegas. I know people that have gone to all three.
Right.
And they're writing $25K a month. Sometimes you just
as
need
much
that.
as you write, you're always at these events.
I won't miss them, right? That's a big thing too. People go, do I have to listen to all the calls? Well, I'm like, listen, Bob, I listen to all the calls, right? Like, you don't have to, but if you want to sell more and you want to do better in this business, my suggestion would say yes.
Yeah, absolutely. Now you started with us January of 18.
Mm-hmm.
So did you go to convention that year?
I did.
You did.
Yep.
So that would have been Dallas.
Yeah. Sat by myself in the back corner, had no idea what it was. I connected with Andrew, and he was very busy, and he gave me no time. Why would he?
Right.
I hadn't done anything, and I sat there and I took it all in, and I watched the awards ceremony, and I remember you walking in with the briefcase, and there was just some. Right, was that a briefcase?
Yeah, briefcase of money.
Briefcase of money. And I just was like, I love this.
Show me the money.
I love the energy, and that convention was a fulcrum for me to progress, because right after that convention, I think I wrote 8,000 in February of last year.
Yeah.
March after convention, 31.
Wow.
Changed my whole life, and from then on, I've never been.
Where'd you finish 2018?
256.
256. Wow. And then obviously you went to the event last year.
Oh yeah.
Well, what was the difference?
Of me or the event?
The events.
I mean, the scale of Vegas is it's a great place to get people to come to, get people to. Hotel rooms are cheap, food options are simple. I mean, it was an exceptional event. I mean, all the speakers are fantastic. Even all the guest trainers that came on. I can't wait to see Tom Hegna again.
Yeah.
Connie Podesta with her Psychology of the Sale. I mean, these are some elite people in their business class. I mean, that's where we're really trending is, we're bringing on this top talent to help make our top talent even better talent. And that's a great testament to the company.
And we got like 1 minute before we pass this over to Trey. There's a lot of, I think we're at a point now where convention's so close. We have tons of people registered.
Yeah.
But we also have a handful of guys that are kind of on the fence. I'm too new. I haven't been around long enough. I'm not sure.
Mm-hmm.
What would be your advice to some of those guys on why they should make that decision?
I would say this. I would, just like we talked about the calls, I would say, if I was talking to Bob, there's no guarantee that if you attend a convention, you're going to be successful. But I'll tell you that every single person who's successful at FFL will be at that convention. And it's just, you got to go to get the information you don't have. What got you here won't get you there. Where you are today, you're a fine person, great father, love your kids, but you don't have the business acumen or skill set yet to go out there and make a lot of money. You learn that at events and conventions and digging into our trainings.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, hey man, appreciate you coming in.
for having me, man.
Absolutely, anytime. And we're gonna pass this over. We got Trey in the studio as well. So thanks a lot, Grady. All right, we got Trey here as well. How you doing, Trey?
I'm doing outstanding. How are you?
Awesome, man. Glad to have you here. So we're just coming off, talking with Grady a little bit about Founders Day. This is actually your second Founders Day meeting, right?
Yes, sir.
And I'm curious because Trey, Grady's brand new, so you kind of get to hear that perspective. But you've been to one of these meetings before. Obviously, you're doing a lot more volume now than you were then. But in your opinion, what was the difference between these two meetings? Like, what did you get out of the first one versus now after already attending one and growing a lot since then?
Well, I tell you, year over year, just the momentum and the amount of agents that are just having success in the field, the conversations that we're having about new agents having success. I mean, there's just so much more of everything happening.
Right.
And man, I feel like there was like twice as many people at this Founders Day than there was last year. And just the excitement, the enthusiasm about what's going on, the certainty about where we're going and how we're going to get there, and nobody's confused. I mean, I'm not saying they were confused last year, but there's definitely an air of confidence that I didn't see last year. It was high last year, but this
Right.
year it's 10 times.
Yeah.
It seems like.
Well, I mean, it's what Shawn always says, and it's almost like I don't want to say motto of the company, but it's our mission is to get better every single day. So every time we do one of these podcasts, one of these trainings, a meeting, a convention, a sales conference, we try to do better than we did, at the last event. Question: when you were just talking, I don't know what your answer is going to be. Obviously, that's why I'm asking the question. But this year, 2019, we're almost done. Where you're at now, is it where you thought you'd be? Is it higher, lower? Like, how would you rate this year for, you personally, your business, selling, hiring?
Well, it's lower than where I thought it would be,
Okay.
but I encountered challenges that I didn't expect to encounter a year ago.
Yeah.
And I really feel more poised to grow now in 2020 because everybody has the same challenges in the business. You're gonna face different obstacles at different times, but everybody on the path, the board member and senior board member, they have to deal with the same stuff at one point or another.
Yeah.
And I feel like 2019 was really just a warm up for what's about to happen in 2020.
Right. Absolutely. Well, I mean, numbers don't lie, and you guys are growing. You've been. Have you been, or when did you start with Family First Life? What year?
2014.
14. Okay. So you were not at the first event then, first convention?
I think I did end up going to the first one. It was October 2014. So was the first one December that year?
It would have been January.
Would have been January.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, you probably were.
Yeah.
So you've kind of seen this progression from convention to convention, and I'm just curious. Because you've always been to all the events, and as an existing agent, I want you to kind of explain the importance of this event. What, as a sales agent, as a manager, what are some things you can expect to get out of one of these events?
Well, it's really interesting when you look back on it because I can literally piece by piece look at different events and different conventions, that things I got from each one. That when the student is ready, the teacher will arrive.
Yeah.
And every year when I would show up, I'd be at a different place, and then I'd hear this one piece of information that would literally skyrocket me to the next place. Is what it felt like, and that's what I get most excited about because the quality of the events have gotten better, the quality of the training has gotten better, the amount of people that are taking massive action early and having tremendous success along the way has increased. And if somebody says, like I had somebody tell me last week, well, I don't know, they just talked about the same thing they talked about at the last meeting. Well, you're only saying that because you don't have any new agents there with you.
Right.
If you have new agents there with you, you're excited.
Yep.
The fundamentals never change. It's run, tackle, block, catch. But the amount of people that are doing the fundamentals better than they ever have before has definitely increased, and the future is definitely bright for what we have going.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, do you think you need the events just as much now as you did day one?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Why is that?
It's
Because it's and the reason because it's easy to say I've gone to 5 in a row. Well,
right.
Yeah, it's good. They're going to train from the stage. They're going to talk about this. Why do I need to go again? You know, it's almost like I watch TNL every single week.
Right.
If I miss it this week, who cares? But when you think about, I mean, athletes, you know, how many free throws do they take a week? How many?
Right.
Well, they've been doing it for years. Why do they still need to practice?
Right.
You know, so and I'm curious to why is it for you?
Well, you have to make a conscious effort to stay close to the fire. So, like for me, I've probably quit Family First Life 1,000 times. It's just the next day I wake up and I start over again. So, what my normal week looks like is like, Friday we do TNL. I'm fired up on Friday, right?
Yep.
Thursday I come to dial. So I'm fired up to come dial. I get the appointment set. Friday's TNL. I'm like, woo, FFL for life. Saturday's great. Sunday I get no-showed 4 times. By that night I'm ready to quit. Monday I show up to dial. I got, 12 appointments. Good for me, and then by Wednesday night I'm ready to quit again. And so without these events and pretty much every 3 months, when we have a sales conference, it's like, man, sometimes you need the meeting and sometimes the meeting needs you, but sometimes you really need the meeting, so it's always good to get a shot in the arm. And it's really easy to get off track a little bit,
Right.
And if you don't have something to get you back on course on a regular basis, it's just, you don't have to, if I were to plant a garden and never, and never water it or anything, if I come back in 3 weeks without attending to it, I'm just going to have the most beautiful patch of weeds you ever saw. So the meetings give us a chance to cultivate the garden, water the garden, that type of thing.
Yeah, absolutely. So we're doing a lot more business development meetings now, and it's funny because I think a year ago we didn't do any, maybe one a month. And I know you've been a part of some of these. And you were in the process of building a website, so an events page where you can go find every training, every BDM, every sales conference, one central location. But explain a little bit, because you're hiring like crazy now. I'm assuming you're probably using these BDMs to, really catapult that. But can you break down a little bit of like how to plug into these, how to use them, and what benefit it is to you and other agents?
Well, the beautiful thing about the business development meeting is it's for confirmation, not information. So you
Okay.
have people that are looking at Family First Life. They've seen some information. They've seen something on Facebook. They've talked to some people that are having success. But when they show up to that business development meeting and they see it A to Z, what it looks like and the people that are having success, and here's some of the testimonials from people in the room, it sets in stone what it is that we're trying to do. And
Right.
people, they start to believe that they can do it too. And it's really, a lot of agents say, well, I don't have any guests coming, I don't know if I want to show up to it. But I've seen time and time again, the agent that's out there just doing the business, maybe they had a good week. Well, if you had a good week, then the meeting needs you, because there's somebody there at that meeting that needs to hear how you did this
Right.
week. And if you're having a bad week, then you need the meeting. I had an agent that we just did one a couple weeks ago, and he'd had kind of a bad week, and I had him do a testimonial at the end. And by the time he was done with that testimonial, talking about all the good stuff that Family First Life had done for him, he was a totally different person. And I thought, well, that's really the key to it. It's just that spaced repetition and just
Right.
staying in the right environment with the right mindset. You do that long enough, you have to win at this. There's
Yeah.
no other way.
Well, I said voice you listen to the most is your own, right?
Right.
And one of the things about these BDMs, a lot of us came from other companies, some in this industry, some not. But I know if you look back at our leaderboard and some of our top guys, the majority of us started from some type of BDM or meeting, something similar where you go watch someone talk about the business. I mean, I know I did. I met Shawn, knew my wife from the bank, but if I never went to a meeting he had at a local hotel, got up in front of everybody, 25, 30 minutes, talked about the opportunity, selling life insurance, I wouldn't be sitting here right now. So
Right.
I think it's the best recruiting tool, also the easiest,
Mhm.
because
Definitely
how
is.
much work, once you have them at the meeting, what do you have to do?
Just sit there and shut up.
Exactly. If Andrew's or Shawn or Andrew or Paul's up there talking about the business, all you have to do is get them there.
Mhm.
And you're
Laugh at the
right.
Jokes.
Yeah,
Good.
laugh at the jokes and then follow up with them afterwards. But I mean, as opposed to you on the phone, and I'm not saying don't do that, but it's I think it's a layup. It's let's just let these guys do it,
That's right.
Yep.
Yep.
So we're coming up. It's December 13th. We got a few weeks left of the year, and it's Next Level Live. So I do want to get into some sales stuff, specifically with can you take 5 minutes and kind of break down how to navigate, like we have holidays coming up, right?
Mhm.
But December is always one of our biggest months, you know?
Always is.
But there's some agents, some new agents maybe that think, I can't sell life insurance in December, which, you know, Mark Mead would laugh at that, you know, but
Exactly.
we would too. But I think it's natural to kind of think that coming into this. So if you can kind of take 5 minutes and some pointers, some sales tips on how to navigate the month of December and how to finish this year strong.
Okay, for sure. Well, December always is one of the biggest months we ever have. It's because people are thinking more about their family. And the only reason why your numbers might drop is because you just stopped working,
Right.
you know? And I remember back a few years ago, Mark Mead did a training. It's funny we use Mark Mead's laugh, but he talked about the tale of two Christmases. And he said, you know, this one year, you know, I want to take some time off and I deserve some time off. And this happened. And then he goes through how terrible the first month of the year was the next year because he didn't work through the holidays. And he goes, but the next year, he didn't make that mistake and he worked all the way through the holidays. He took Christmas off that day, but he was consistent with his schedule and the team started to grow and the momentum he built from that. And, you know, then January was one of the biggest months and then had more agents at the national conference than he had the year before by far. And then the snowball effect that took place. And so that's really what it's all about. Just, you know, don't take 3 weeks off during December. There's no reason to do it. Just treat it like any other month. And it really is a launching pad for, you know, people think, well, in January, I'm going to start for next year. Well, next year starts in December. If you want to have a huge 2020, work your butt off the last 2 weeks of December and watch what happens.
Yeah. Cause I mean, it goes by quick, you know, before we know it, you know, January it'll be here.
Mm-hmm.
And then before you know it, it'll be February. We're here at convention. You know, so kind of last thing I want you to touch on is, I guess some tips for a new agent that's maybe on the fence about attending convention.
Yeah, you know, it'll take 6 months off your learning curve to show up to it, and that's the thing that I want to get people to really understand. Because the problem with this business is we don't have a big burden of entry. You know, you don't have to spend $500,000 to start your insurance business. But if you treat this business like you invested $500,000, you can make weight. Like my wife's family, she has a family member that's big in one of these franchises with the Golden Arches. I don't know if we're allowed to say what the name is. But
it's fine. Yeah,
but they, she's big with that company, and so I've met some really top franchise owners with that, and they've spent millions of dollars to get these franchises. But after all the expenses and all the employees and all the workers' comp, what they're actually netting, there's agents within FFL that are making way more money than somebody with one of these big franchises that people would spend, you know, millions of dollars to start.
Right.
But if you don't treat it like that, you'll never have that kind of success. And so the thing you got to ask yourself is, you know, if McDonald's was going to have a conference with the best franchisees in the world telling you how to run the best franchise possible, would you make any excuse not to be there? And of course you wouldn't. You'd go there. And the thing is we can't take, you know, we can't fly you around for you to meet the top agency managers all across the country and spend 12 hours with them one by one. But all the people that are making 6 and 7 figures are going to be at the conference in Las Vegas, and you get a chance for them to pour into you. So really, you can't afford not to do it. You know, people say, I can't afford to go. Look, if we were selling, you know, if we were selling some sort of juice or vitamin or something, you might be able to say, hey, I couldn't get to Vegas. But look, it's one sale to Vegas. You know, you make one sale off a Facebook lead. You could get your plane ticket and your hotel, and you're good to go. You know what I mean? So there's really no excuse for anyone not to go.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, thanks a lot, Trey. I think it definitely helped a lot of people. We're going to pass this over. We got Nick Ayala here in studio with us as well. So thanks a lot.
All right. Thank you.
All right, Nick, how we doing, man?
I'm awesome, dude. Excited to be here. Happy to be here. It's
Absolutely.
Awesome. Other than the fact that it's like really cold for me.
Yeah, I mean, it's all relative, I guess. So, yeah, it's maybe 20, 25 degrees?
It's nice, though. I like it, but
yeah,
it'll change.
What's the temperature back home?
83.
A little different.
A little different.
Yeah. And this is actually your first Founders Day, right?
It was, yeah. And it was great.
When did you start with us?
First policy was sold March of 18.
March of 18, okay.
Yeah.
And then you're right now doing $1 million.
Yeah.
Actually, I think I said 900 the other day to you, but you did 1 million last
That's
month.
awesome.
So board
That's
member,
crazy.
congratulations.
Thank you, sir.
I know I had to sneak that in. But I'm interested in your perspective on, what did you get from Founders Day? It's your first time. You've been with us a little bit, selling, building an agency. But what did you get out of that meeting?
Dude, the camaraderie.
Yeah.
And that's the coolest thing about the company that I never understood at first. I understood it pretty quickly coming in, but being here today with everyone that was here, just how much we just want each other to win, dude.
Right.
And Shawn always talks about it because he wants everyone to win.
Yeah.
And I'm the same way. Like, I want everyone to win. And then there's so many other people in this company that, dude, we just want everyone to be winning. And that's why, like, I think people like myself, and I'm sure a lot of other people in the company, we get frustrated when we see others not putting the effort in because the opportunity is like, it's too good.
Yeah.
And then everything that's going on with the merger and integrity, it's just, there's too much opportunity for people that they can't miss this, Meaike.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because there's going to be people that look back in a year or 2 or 4 that are they're going to be really upset with themselves.
Right.
And I hope that if they're listening, they're not one of those people, because I'm doing everything I can to not be one. Hopefully I won't be. Man, it's awesome. So that's one of my biggest things, the camaraderie, and then just the opportunity. And it's been great.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And you being with us, a couple of years, we've had a lot of growth this past year.
No doubt.
Went from, I think, 5-6 million beginning of the year in a month, and we just 9.3 last month. And I think you get this. You understand business. You're building a massive team. I'm curious, man. Take good 4 or 5 minutes and talk about where you see this going. And from a board member standpoint, like how can you take advantage of this? Whether hiring, getting new agents going, from your perspective.
So like my perspective has changed a lot, dude. Even over the past 60, 90 days. And for me, it's like we're all one big team.
Yeah.
And it wasn't always like that, at least in my mind, and it really is now.
Yeah.
And I get to work with people like Eric Anthony every day now, and John Wetmore, and Chris Foto, and Eric Schmidt, and Frank DeSena, and all these other people. Me and Grady are talking, like, let's start working some things out. Because I think the more we do things together, the faster we can all get wherever we want to be.
Right.
Especially with the system. That's one thing I'm learning. I got to get better at it, but I'm definitely learning it. This company, Shawn talks about being at 400 million this year, and that's all well and good. I'm excited to get to $1 billion, dude. I'm excited to be a part of the $1 billion,
Right.
and I just want to be a really big part of it, or as big as I can be. And that's my mind frame every day. My mind frame every day when I go to work is the ship is moving with or without me.
Right.
Right. But I want it to be with me, and I want the biggest piece of the pie I can possibly get. And I feel like if people can somehow wrap their head around that, everyone will be really happy. You know what I mean? And they'll be able to provide for their family the way they want to, and themselves, and whatever they want, because everyone has different goals. But to me, that's really big, dude.
Yeah.
So.
Absolutely. One thing, you talk about you doing $1 million a month right now. And I mean, and for those, like, you don't sell personally, right?
A little bit.
A little bit here,
Yep.
but your main, like, you're getting agents going.
Yes.
And you got some big producers.
Yes.
I mean, Chris,
Yeah.
what's he do, 40 grand a month?
Yeah, he'll be Hall of Fame, no doubt.
Be
this
Hall
year.
of
Yep.
Fame.
He already
Frank
is. I think
just
he just hit it. Yep.
Yeah. So I'll take a little bit, because we have a lot of guys that are, in your position that are selling, and they're trying to get these guys going,
Yeah.
which it seems like you've figured that out.
Yeah.
How do you get someone brand new, someone who's selling a little bit? How do you help? Because now they got to do the work,
No doubt.
obviously. But what do you do to kind of help them get there?
So I think the misconception is when we first started, dude, I had 0 agents, 0 on the
Yeah.
team. So we started from scratch, and I realized quick that I better get my butt in the field,
Yeah.
because it's really stupid for me to tell people to do something when I've never done it.
Right.
So I went and sold. Did I run 30, 40 appointments a week? No, but I ran 20. For 6, 7 months, I ran a good amount of appointments, but the whole time my mind frame was building the business. So I was hiring every second I could. And you look at a guy like Zach Twardowski. He writes a boatload of insurance, dude.
Right.
But he hires, and he doesn't make excuses. He just works. So like for me, when people are in the field trying to build, does it make it a little harder? Of course, no doubt, because your focus is kind of on two different things in a way.
Right.
But the whole point is attitude and activity, dude. You got to put the activity in. So like when we're trying to get agents started, and look, that's the struggle I think for every agency, no matter who it is, and we're always trying to figure a way to get better because we can be better. And for me, it's obviously getting them in the Facebook groups. That's huge. Getting them in on whatever communication platforms you have, email blasts, whatever else these groups or groups may have. Getting them in all those communication platforms is humongous. They have to be there. Letting them see leaderboards, letting them see the good of what we do.
Yeah.
Spread the good news, so to speak. And then making sure they get through Insurance Bay. And I like to set expectations. So like this is a big one for me, and it evolves. I didn't do it in the beginning. So like I'll give people steps. I'll say, hey, have you gone through Insurance Bay yet? And they'll say no. And I say, okay, great. Well, as soon as you sign up for Insurance Bay, shoot me a text so I know you signed in, and then make sure you fill out your appointments with the carriers. When you're done, shoot me another text so I can give you your next step.
Yeah.
So like it's just kind of giving them steps to do, holding them a little more accountable.
Right.
And then same thing like sign the affidavit, shoot me a text or call me afterwards, or we got to talk. From once they're done with Insurance Bay, dude, I set the expectation of we need to get you in the field within a week. Like you want to make money, right? That's what you're here for, to help people and make some money. Okay, perfect. Let's not take long doing that. Let's get you in the field. We don't have to even wait till your numbers come back. Most people do. Even if you say that they're going to, which is fine. But during that time frame, here's what you're going to be doing. We're going to be studying. We're going to be watching these videos. We're going to be doing phone training. Don't worry about products. I know you want to, but don't. We need to get really good on the phone. We need to get a schedule in place. And we need to get a lead plan in place. So like for me, if I can do that in that week, from when the day they complete Insurance Bay till for the next like 3 or 4 days, and then I can have them start ordering leads. Now they can be in the field within a week and a half. And now we can get some writers.
Yep.
Does it always work like that? No. I wish it was perfect. It's not. But I try to set some expectations, not just like, hey, do this. Go ahead and watch these. I want to say, hey, do this right now and get back to me. Because I feel like if you give people those steps, it holds them a little more accountable.
Right.
And they almost don't want to let you down in a way.
Yeah.
So they do it.
Yep.
More.
We talked about, and we'll have the podcast coming out soon. You talked a lot about that, not wanting to let people down.
Yeah.
Explain that, because I know you feel that way about your agents.
I do.
And I want to be clear, like for an agent to go out there, for Chris to go do what he's doing, you're helping him, but that's him.
No doubt.
We're not saying he's doing this because of Nick. Nick's setting up these steps and giving him the path. But I mean, how many agents did you do that same exact thing with? Yep. And then you get, you do it with 10 people, you get 2 people that follow through.
If that,
so,
yeah.
And I also think the way you do it, setting out this kind of roadmap and almost being hands off, like, hey, go do this. Mm-hmm. It allows you to work with so many more agents, because you're not sitting there micromanaging him. You're just, hey, do this and let me know when you did it. You're not calling them, hey, did you do it yet?
Yeah.
How come it's not, you're just, let's see who does what. Yeah. And then plugging them into the training, knowing that, like, you sold before, you know how to do it, but you don't have to be the deal.
Yeah.
There's so many training options out there. Like, hey, watch this. I want to learn how to get better on objections. Okay, watch this video.
Yep.
Yep. But talk a little bit about just that, like not wanting to let your agents down.
I don't, man. It weighs on me every day. Like, obviously, the first thing for me is God. Whatever anyone else believes, and that's number one for me. Number 2 is my wife and my kids and my family.
Yep.
But after that, when it comes professionally, I look at the people that we work with, and I have an obligation to them, man. Like, that's why I work my butt off every day.
Right.
Because I don't want to let them down. I don't want to let a lot of people down. I don't want to let Eric Anthony down. I don't want to let John Wetmore and Mike Killamit down. I don't want to let Shawn down. Yep. And I definitely don't want to let the guys and girls on our team down. Because they're looking at me to be the person, whether it's a leader or whatever it might be. I don't know. It's just, this is the role that I have with them. So but they have to go do the work. I don't push Chris Photo to go sell insurance. He does it himself.
Right.
He's a beast. Now, do I get on him sometimes if I'm like, dude, come on, go to work more, because I want him to win so damn bad?
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think that's just me wanting people to win, dude. I just want everyone to help a lot of people and get rich together.
Yeah.
Simple as
Absolutely.
that, dude.
Show me the money.
That's yes,
That's
sir.
So we're coming up on the end of the year. You know, we got one sales conference coming up in Dallas
Yep.
next week, an annual convention, you know, in February. And I want you to kind of give some pointers, some advice to a new agent, existing agent. How do you take it? Because like you said, the trains, we're moving, you know, and if you're just out there selling, just starting to build a team, how do you take advantage of this?
The first thing you got to do is get really uncomfortable, Meike. Like, you gotta talk to people that are doing it, or call people that are wherever it is you want to be. You know, if you're writing 10, you want to write 20, call someone writing 20 and 30. If you're doing 50,000 a month and you want to be doing 500, to call people. So that's one thing. Now, the conventions, dude, are essential. Like,
Yeah.
if people aren't going to them, they're doing a disservice to themselves. They're doing a disservice to their families. They're not doing a disservice to Family First Life.
Right.
Like, we're going.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter.
Hey, just so like we put the convention's free
It is free.
for you guys. The more people show up, the more it costs us. So if
No doubt.
anything, you think, well, maybe we don't want them, but we do, because like you said, it I don't want to cut you off, but we grow, they grow. But I mean, trust me, yeah, we don't need more people there because it will cost us more money.
Yeah, and the company's going to grow no matter what. I
Right.
mean, the brand, the name is just getting so big at this point in the industry. Dude, we're growing with or without people. We're going to grow with or without some Meaike Killerman,
Right.
who's got a huge agency.
Yeah.
Now, Mike's not going to miss the boat, obviously. But,
Yeah.
but it's just a point. Like, no matter who you are, the company's going to go. And so to me, it's like, don't miss it. Now, get around the people that are doing it. You know, get to these events. They're free. They're going to help change your business. They're going to help catapult your business. Why not make a small sacrifice to do it? And there's too many people that don't. And I understood the value of it pretty early, but the more I go, Mike, I go to a lot of them. I try to go as many as I can go to, because every time I do, it's really weird. I can't really put my finger on it, but every time I go, the business grows.
Yeah.
And whether it's just being around people, more people, whether it's people seeing, I have no idea, but it grows. And when I learned the value of that, I said, okay, I'm going to go to basically all of them then, or everyone that I can basically handle, because I want I'm obsessed with the business growing.
Right.
Period. So that's what people have to do. They have to get to these conventions, dude. They're essential, man.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they're our biggest catalyst to the company's growth, which is due to everyone else growing. You know, when you look at this past year, this event, I think October of 18, we issued $5 million in life as a company. We had
As a company.
and we had convention early February. That February we issued $6 million.
Crazy.
Right after convention.
Now we're at 9.
We're at 9.3. Don't short it, 9.3. We had 9.3 last month, but I mean, it started with that event. And when I say the company's growth, it's everyone listening. It's you, it's Meike, it's Mark, it's Paul, Andrew, Matt. I mean, it's a collective group, but it starts there, you know. Finishing up the year strong. Can you talk a little bit about being intentional around, because I think it's easy, you know. Trey just talked a lot about it. He brought up actually a training Mark Mead did a couple of years back about kind of the tale of two Christmases. Like, you can have a really good one or a really bad one, because it's up to you how you're going to finish this year strong,
No doubt.
which will also dictate how you start 2020.
2020.
So just we got about a minute left here,
Okay.
but just some pointers, to kind of help these agents be intentional finishing off this year.
Yeah, we've been talking about that a lot, man, because it's so true. Planning for 2020. It started months ago, but if you haven't yet, start now.
Right. You still got time.
Yeah, and there's going to be a lot of people writing $50,000, $60,000, $80,000 this month. Be one of them, you know. Get on your calendar. Mark the days that you're going to be with your family. Christmas, if you're Jewish, celebrate Hanukkah, whatever it is. Mark those days, and you know, I'm not working these days, but I'm definitely working these days. And make sure you protect it.
Right.
Protect your days. Not, oh, we have a holiday party. All of a sudden that pops up. Nope, sorry, got to work. It was on my calendar. Share it with your spouse. Let them know I have to work. Because if you do it now in December, Meike, 2020 is going to be a lot easier because they're 20. I'm pretty sure January is a 5-week month.
Yep.
So I mean, dude, there's just you can't get left behind, dude.
Right.
Do not, please, don't get, if you're watching this, don't get left behind.
Yeah, that's huge, man. I appreciate
Yeah,
that.
absolutely.
But yeah, I mean, exactly. Mark those days, make commitment, and because if not, you'll start the year behind the 8 ball.
No doubt.
And it happens so fast. I mean, we're December 13th. Before you know it, December's over, and you're like Mark said. There's two ways it's going to end. You're going to look back and go, "Man, that was an awesome December. I'm gonna, kick. You know what, this year," or you're gonna go, "Wow, I really messed up. Now I gotta get moving. I gotta get in gear now." And you don't want to be January 1, January 15th trying to get in gear.
Make it a December to remember, dude.
There you go. Well, let's end on that, man. Appreciate it, guys. Thanks for watching. Let's make it a big week, and we'll be back at you again next week.
Appreciate
Thanks.
you, dude.